It shouldn't be this hard to figure this stuff out. You know, everywhere I looked for the stellar precession, they're saying it's 1 degree per day. The stars move west 1 degree per day. If you add up 1 degree per day over 365 days, that's 365 degrees. That's a 5-degree difference. And then they say, well, it's 0.986 a day, actually. But then if it's 0.986 a day, then they don't have that 20-minute gap. So I had to reverse engineer the entire precession to figure out what the truth is. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing on my channel is truth. It's not anything else. I'll be wrong 100 times to get to the right answer. And I'm not going to stop until I get to the right answer. And I'm asking people, a couple of people said, oh, I think you're misunderstanding, one thing. But no one really had the actual answer. Nobody actually, a couple of people knew what was occurring, but they couldn't give me the deep mathematics behind it. So I had to reverse engineer the whole thing. So basically, this is what happens. And this is for globers and flat earth people. Whatever you believe the earth is, no matter what, this is how precession works, okay? Precession doesn't falsify the flat earth at all. So, in my opinion, I think precession falsifies the wobble. They say the earth wobbles and that's what causes the precession. But if you do the math, if you go really deep into the math, and this is why I think they hide the math so much. This is why I think they make it so hard to figure out, what the math actually is. So annually, the difference is 0.0138984, whatever that number is. That's the difference after 1 year. So the sun is faster than the stars. The stars appear to move west about 1 degree every night. But the sun is catching up to the stars. And it almost laps the stars. It falls this amount short of lapping the stars at the end of the year, after 1 year. And you have to multiply it by 4 in order to do the 365.25, because 365.25 includes the leap year, because there's 365 days a year, but every 4 years, it's 366 days because of a leap year. So you have to be precise with the math in order to get the actual calculation that's perfect. So this is the difference. And the truth is, it takes 20 minutes. The difference, the sun is such a small amount behind the stars, not 20 minutes of difference. It doesn't accumulate to 20 minutes of difference. The sun takes 20 minutes to close the gap on the stars. And that's when the cycle starts again. So this gap is so small that it only takes the sun 20 minutes to complete. So they have the same exact alignment as they had when they started the year. And this is so small that after 72 years, it equals 1 degree of separation. And that 1 degree of separation is what they call precession. Now, this is just math. This has to do with the difference between the sun and the stars and how they go a slightly different speed every single day. And I think it's crazy that I have to work so hard to find the official answers and the official stories, because everywhere I looked, they kept saying that it's 1 degree per day, and at the end of the year there's a 20-minute difference. And I even posted videos of my conversations where they literally said the next year it will be in the star will rise at the same spot except 20 minutes later or 20 minutes earlier. And that's what I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And that's why I even went on this binge, because it made absolutely no sense to me. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If that's the case, then the stars are gonna rotate 180 degrees in 36 years. This is what I'm working with, because where's the official story? They don't want you to have the official story, because if you have the official story and you know the exact math, and you know it boils down to a daily discrepancy in the speed of the sun and the stars, which is so minuscule that the sun is 3 minutes and 56 seconds faster than the stars every day. And because the sun is faster, it sets a little bit sooner every day, and the stars rise a little bit earlier every day, because it becomes nighttime every day a little bit earlier, because the sun is going away, and the sun actually almost laps the stars over the course of the year. And I have to give thanks to Lindsay Harris, because he helped me a lot with figuring this out. You know, I don't know if he was just testing me and letting me figure it out on my own. He knew, but he, you know, obviously I like to do my own work. You know, someone can tell me the answer all they want, but until I actually do the math and figure it all out, I'm not going to be satisfied. That's just the way I am. I hold myself accountable, and I'm responsible to providing the best, most accurate data possible. But it's hard when we're living in a world where everything's digital, and it's hard to trust all these sources, because now all these sources and all these applications that people are using they're all programmed. So you can't trust a program, you can only trust your observations. So at the same time, I gotta get a better camera so I can do some star photography, and I'm gonna start tracking the stars, and I'm gonna see, you know, exactly what's going on, and that's gonna take a long time. You know, it's gonna take a long time. I'm not gonna have any results for a while, because you can't find astrophotography. I can't look up what did the sky look like in 1991. You know, I tried. I was like going back in the archives. It was crazy. Like the amount of work that I had to put into when this is something I should just get the answer to. I shouldn't get a different answer everywhere I go. And that's why you have to be careful about the information you get, because you get this information, you're like, all right, well, if that's the information, then that means this or that means that. So always be careful. So anyways, I just wanted to touch base. I'm going to do a more in-depth video, but I just wanted to let everybody know that I think I figured it out. I have to verify it with observations now, but you know,